hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is you're having, Paradigm Shifters. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. Wow, yeah. And I'm so grateful that we've been going strong, this Paradigm Shifters, since March of 2020. How's that for you, Wayne? Every Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, every Tuesday since March of 2020, we have. Oh, wait a minute. Let me tell you our mission. Paradigm Shifters, we are a growing, global, glowing community dedicated to shift and uplift the whole planet. Woohoo! Okay, so
Beautiful.
yeah, so we've been going straight every Tuesday since March 2020. And as the growing global community of the entire world has grown, we've we've like I've downloaded these different topics that are so important for the time. And now we are in, I am so thrilled that it is 2024 and we are opening doors in 2024. So, before we start, I wanted to read a reading. Okay, so just take a deep breath in here, everybody. And the reading is a little meditation called Helpful. And the affirmation is, as I help, I share the love of God with the world. As I help, I share the love of whatever you want to put, universal, intelligent, higher power, God for me, with the world. Being of help is a wonderful feeling. Knowing my efforts have lightened someone's load or helped them feel a little less alone fills my heart. I am a compassionate listener and an open and accepting presence. I may volunteer for causes that help those in need, or I may reach out a hand to help them directly. I care for the earth by living in ways that nurture and sustain the planet and its creatures. I keep my mind open and my heart soft so others are comfortable revealing their tenderest selves to me. I'm the hands and feet of God on earth, making contributions to the world in the spirit of gratitude, peace, and love. As I help, I share the love of God with the world. So I am thrilled to have as our guest speaker my friend and buddy from the other side of the world, Wayne Forrest. At least where I am, it is a day earlier. So Wayne, when I talk to you, you're touching the future. So Wayne Forrest, I first met you, Wayne, out in Los Angeles, and you wheeled yourself in there. You are so strong and powerful, and your whole presence just engulfs the entire room. So, for those of you who don't know Wayne, the Wayne Forrest from New Zealand, Wayne is a transformational life coach, and I love the fact that you're a former youth worker at Epic Ministries. Also, one thing I know about you is that you are, I still can't believe it's a former farmer. I met you when you were the farmer, and in New Zealand, sheep farm, and that you studied and at Rathkiel College, and that you live in. I'm just gonna say this. You can Okato, New Zealand, and you're from Parangaho, New Zealand.
Nice. Nice, Judy. Very good.
I'm working on it. Working on it. Okay, and so with that, I want to everybody to make welcome Wayne Forrest, New Zealand. Thank you so much for being here and for being you, Wayne.
It's a pleasure, Judy. It's a real pleasure to be on your platform and having this opportunity to have a kōrero as the Māori word for discussion. I love it.
All right, so tell us about opening doors in 2024. You said that you have some insights. It's all yours. Well,
Oh,
first of all, how
beautiful.
about telling us a little bit about yourself and your,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Where do I start? I grew up in a farming community and sheep and beef farm. So on the coast of Porongahau, Central Hawke's Bay. So Judy was very close with that second pronunciation. And I love farming, absolutely adored it. My whole life sort of was around farming and being a farmer growing up. And then as I grew up and I got married and came back to the farm and ran a farm, I loved my sport as well. And I played a game of rugby one day and dislocated my neck in the final minutes of that game. And all of a sudden, I went from this physical, young, bulletproof male, as you do think at the age of 25, and with two little girls and a wife and a farm, and I couldn't move anything. I couldn't even feed myself in the early days. I went from that, very physical man, probably a lot of ego, to not having much. And so the last 29 years has really been just a discovery of who I truly am. And that journey has brought us here today. And you've mentioned some of those things that I've done along the way, and lots more. But just to keep it short, that learning that I've found along the way has brought me to where I am today, and I am in a different place. I went from the farmer over here, and I realize now that I had to have the accident to be way over here on the left or the right, miles away from being a farmer, and helping people and learning and discovering what it is to be a spiritual being, having a human experience.
Tell me more.
Tell me more. So this beautiful topic of what does 2024, what do we need? What do we have to show up as? And it's quite easy, really, I believe, but we complicate it. And that is unconditional love, right? We have so much conditional love in life, and everything's balance, right? Everything's yin and yang, everything's dark and light in this human experience, or pain and pleasure. Everything's got an opposite. So instead of having love and hate, it's actually unconditional love and conditional love. And we got this teaching through the Course of Miracles, and some of your listeners would have studied the Course of Miracles, that there's only two kinds, or there's only one really energy in the world, and it's love, and it's one power. And so I've been really exploring this idea, and I've come to the realization that all we have to do to make a real huge difference in the world is to create more balance of unconditional love. But that has to start with us first. We're all carrying conditional love. And as a parent, I know that in the past I've parented with conditional love. Tidy that room and you'll get this, or whatever it is. or do those dishes, and you'll be able to have this, or whatever. It's conditional love, right? And unconditional love isn't soft. It's not, letting people get away with bad behavior, or standing up for what you believe in. It's just a different. It's no attachment. Um, and so what I want to explain is that we've got two sides to our nature. I love what Judy said. Her reading before this call was just perfect, because she talked about God. I talk about the inner warrior, right? And what I'm going to say is that we've got two sides to our nature, and Mary teaches this as well, that we have two sides to our nature. We've got the human experience, and that's obviously made up of all our experiences and what we've taken on as beliefs in this experience of called life. You've got a birth date, and you're going to have a death date, and on this journey, you've had influences in your life, parents, schooling, friends, family, whatever that is, and that has created and crafted a belief system that we have on as human beings on this experience. Now, of course, we're growing our awareness of who we truly are here. So a lot of you will already know this and understand that, okay, we know better than that now, but as a 4 or 5 or 6-year-old, we didn't. And we took on those beliefs, and we created a belief system that becomes subconscious in the subconscious brain. And so that is running on automatic, and there's good reasons for that if you've studied the subconscious mind, and I'm sure many of you have. And I strongly believe that we all should. Do you want to say something, Judy?
No, I'm like taking notes right about, and I wanted to ask you too that you mentioned something that I would love to have you expand on. You said that you you were the inner warrior,
Yeah.
and I don't, you know what, I've not ever heard that before, and it
Uh,
really resonated with me. And so I was going to go into, I wanted to have you explain possibly how you got to that, um,
well,
and
I'm gonna.
why. I think maybe your why. Where was it that when you had a human name for it, that it was that powerful inner warrior? Can you go back to that moment in time, perhaps, and what was going on where that was the that came about?
Yeah, yeah, I will. I'll just finish what I was saying, right? There's
Okay.
subconscious patterning. And I was getting to what you were going to say, so it's perfect, really. That subconscious patterning is that human experience. So that's that side of the nature. And now what we're talking about is the inner warrior, is the other side of the nature. It's spiritual, right? It's our power. That's why I call it the inner warrior. It's our true power, right? And I came to that idea that the inner warrior is we all want labels, right? And as spiritual teachers, the reason why I like it so much and it resonates with me is that you think of a warrior, right? They're strong, they're powerful, um, but in this context, they're also full of love, right? And 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 why I like this as a spiritual teacher is that it's subtle. we Our job is to wake up people to consciousness, right? We're helping people transform, right? And that sets them on a road or a road of discovery, hopefully, of their own awareness of consciousness, which is also unconditional love. Right? So this side of the nature, that spiritual side, you can call it God in you can call it universe, higher self, but I just my tag and what I use for my marketing now and what really resonates with me is my inner warrior. You can call it your inner goddess if you like, right? And so this side of our nature is whole. It is abundant. It is purely love, unconditional love. And it's bloody powerful,
Can you
right?
give me an experience, like an actual story of where maybe you were out of alignment with your inner warrior, and like an actual story where like an example. Um, for me, it's like it's one thing for me to sit, and then when I go out in the world, it's like, oh, did I really say you're a warrior? And can you give me an example of maybe where a human life experience that you've had where where everything was falling apart and you had to access that inner warrior?
Many a times, right?
No.
And it happens regularly. And this is where the balance is. And I love this because this is what I wanted to discuss, right? Is that everything is balance. It's yin and yang, right? So this is the inner warrior is the unconditional love. The human experience is the conditional love, right? So this is the paradigm, the human experience, and this is the spirit in us, right? So everything has got balance. So you can use this in your own life, understanding that. But let's say that you're married, right? This is a great one, right?
Yeah, let's
Uh,
give a personal
yeah,
example.
let's get
What?
it personal. I'm married, right?
You're married, right?
And she's the love of my life, but she's also the pain in my ass as well, right? You know, let's be honest here, right? She's also can be that uh that sacred friend, as the Dalai Lama would say, right? And most marriages are like that. We why? Because we all have a paradigm, right? We all have a human experience. Now we reflect each other, right? So I reflect her paradigm in some way, and she reflects mine, just like you and I probably reflect certain things. That's why we often attract people with very similar learnings and as we go along in life. And so understanding that the human experience reflects each other, right? And everything is energy and we're all connected. And then if your wife or your husband says something like, why haven't you done the dishes yet? Or when are we having dinner? Or, and it just a little trigger and it goes, what am I, your mother? Or whatever it is, And there's that trigger, right? It's subconscious.
How do you,
And
in that one moment, I'm just like, okay, you got that moment and stuff. How do you,
beautiful.
and you've got a choice. You got a
Mhm.
choice.
You
And
got
so,
to
what is it that you do personally to, you know,
beautiful.
whatever whatever, you know what I mean? To like, okay, snap or go back into this or snap there. Where is that tool? Could you tell us like the tool
Well,
when you snap back?
it's a practice, right? And I'm back. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect at it.
No.
And I'm still learning it, and I'm still crafting it. It's a practice. So understand, right? That if we're aware of it, and as soon as we're aware of it, we can clean it up, right? What would unconditional love do? This is where I wanted to, before we get into that, can I just try something with you, Judy, first? And I think this will help
Uh-oh.
understand it a little bit more,
All
right?
right. All
Right.
right.
So we all got, I just want you to close your eyes, and I want your audience, if they're listening to, just to close your eyes, and as we always do, we just want to get ourselves present, right, in this moment by using our breath. Let go of anything that you've got in your body that you're holding. Relax, let it go with your breath. Shake it out if you need to. Just, if there was a fight, or if you're worried about something, just let it go in your breath, and just bring to mind, right, that unconditional love for you, right? Some clients of mine have, it's often a newborn baby, or if a female, right? Or there's something, right, that really resonates with you with unconditional love. Just bring that to mind, right? And really fill your heart up with that unconditional love, right? Just imagine it with every inhale, it's just coming through your top chakra and filling your body up and your heart up, right? And really sense that love and sit in that love, right? And how warm it is, right? Now, I just want you to think of what color that is for you. What's that love for you? Right? Have you got a color?
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Blue. Yeah.
Blue. Blue, right? It's a nice blue. So this is the secret, right? Is that our body is addicted to that trigger of emotion. And this is a bit of Dr. Joe's teaching, actually, Dr. Joe Dispenza. All right, so you can open your eyes now, Judy. I just wanted that color and that sense of how you can fill your heart up with unconditional love, right? All right. So what happens when we have this discussion with our other half, right? We trigger, right, of a past experience that has created or how it made us feel wrong in some way, right, or hurt, or whatever that is. So we bite in that moment. It's a trigger. Now, I love Mr. Gay's work as well, right? You can imagine um, his idea of how the body, or that emotion, that paradigm, we're always looking for a trigger, right? And so that triggers us in a relationship, and it's normally after a high, right? So why?
Yeah, right there, what you just said is normally after a high.
High, yeah,
Yeah, in other
yeah,
words, like, things are going so well, and then the trigger comes,
yeah.
and then boom. Eh,
Bomb.
I'm taking some notes because I want to talk a little bit. Yeah, go ahead because I wanted to.
Right. So this trigger is because our body is part of the subconscious mind, right? And it's addicted to the emotion, right? So we're not. That's why alcoholics, drug use, porn use, all those addictions. We're not addicted to the thing or the substance. We're addicted to the emotion, right? So that's why we look for the little, we don't realize we're doing it, but we look for the fight in our relationship now and then, right? After a high, because our body goes, hang on, we're addicted to that emotion. We want our little fix, right? So we purposely do something or say something to create that trigger in our opposite. And of course, we know them so well, right? That we know how to push their buttons. We even know subconsciously because they're quite similar to our own buttons, right? So that's why this trigger is happening. Now, if you understand that trigger is in the body and that emotion, right? So what do? We need to sit. We need to breathe. We also then need to fill our heart up with that unconditional love, that color. For Judy, it's blue. I've had
That,
clients. I got this, you know, gang member, right, that I've worked with, and
yeah.
his was pinkish white,
Oh,
right? And it was because he had anger, right? And we looked at it at that anger and where it came from. We have to acknowledge the paradigm. We acknowledge the anger. Okay, we looked at it in the face. You know, the dark night, just like Mary teaches, the look at the anger, acknowledge it. So it's the same with paradigm. Okay, I bit in, I look it in the face. Okay, I know where that comes from. It's a trigger from the past experience. His anger was because he found out that he could get angry, that it was easier to hurt someone else than get hurt. Right? So he put that together himself by acknowledging and looking at it as anger. Right? So that was his way of dealing with this paradigm. Was right, I get angry, that backs everyone off, and I don't get hurt. I hurt other people as conditional love. Right?
boy, this
Right?
is so powerful, and I wanted to also like as far as yeah, this is really good. This is really worth a rewind and listening to. And what I was took this note down is an idea that um, was taught to me by, boy, I can't even remember if it's the ideas come. I can't remember who first did this. Is like if you have a color associated with that unconditional love, and perhaps you're going out into the world of something that's risky for you and you're not sure of, that to go into your closet and choose that color to put
Mm,
on, and
makes
then
sense.
as you get out into the world and you come perhaps to your green growing edge where you're going to be doing the risks and the triggers are they're gonna come up, that to go and act, for me, I'm a tactile person, to actually feel the color and the
Mm,
color of unconditional love. And so it's about who we're putting on in the morning, the clothes, and then going out and reminding. I love the fact that
mm,
it's like reminding
mine.
who we are as love. So is in opening doors to 2024,
Yeah,
my mission here, and my intention is to bring to you, perhaps not perhaps to we're doing this thing, right, Wayne? We're not trying, we're
definitely,
doing
definitely.
it.
Definitely. It's our duty, and yeah, totally. Totally.
Yeah,
We're
totally,
doing
we're
this.
doing this thing.
We're shifting the world.
And if and perfectly imperfect. It's just like
Yeah.
so many, we nothing is perfect. Yeah, well, yes there is, but you know what I mean. So they were putting on, opening a door of unconditional love.
Mm.
And I love the fact too, for ourselves and then others, for ourselves that
It
we,
has to be. It has to be. It's not going to work unless we do ourselves first.
amen. So
Amen.
what I would love to do now, and as is that to honor you, Wayne Forrest, and all the beautiful work that you've done over the years since I've known you. I would love to, as our community of paradigm shifters, which you have been a part of for a long time, what
From
is
the
it
beginning,
in
I think, Judy.
2024? What is it that we can hold? And we're growing strong. It's so much fun. What can we hold as our community for you personally for 2024? What would you love?
Oh, Judy, I've, this is the beauty, right? And I know we're running out of time, but there was so much more I wanted to give, and how that works, right? As well with that love, right? That unconditional love, how working on ourselves, if we all feel that color, right? That color of love in our heart, how just imagine if we tip the balance of humanity with more people doing and feeling that, right? One
So there
person
you
at
go.
a time.
So that's
And
your mission, hey?
that is my mission. So my mission is very, very on track with yours, right? And I'm writing a book.
Okay,
I'm
that's what
on
I want to get. That's it. You're
uh,
right.
I'm I'm writing a book. I'm 8 chapters in, and the it's I won't give too much away, but it's pretty much helping. Uh, I believe, and my desire is to help men um, come to this power that, and that's why I picked the inner warrior, the power within, right? So, and that is that unconditional love, right? So it's a very subtle. I'm hoping to do it in this way. I am doing it. Let's change that. I am doing it in a subtle way so that as spiritual teachers, we go wake up, but without telling them. Right. And so that's my mission, and of course my programs and my website all depict that as well. And so my speaking, my coaching is all about creating the power within through that inner warrior as unconditional love for ourselves. And because if we do that for ourselves, Judy, and I just want to leave your listeners with this, is that if we do it for ourselves, you can imagine how that's going to create a difference around you, right? And then just imagine if some of our leaders had that kind of unconditional love for themselves and how they would reflect differently, and there wouldn't be wars. It's the problem in our world at the moment is there's a lack of balance of conditional and unconditional love.
Right.
Just imagine if it tipped to halfway, 50%,
Well,
right?
here
That's exciting, isn't it?
this is so
Isn't
great.
that
So we're going
exciting?
to do this energetic from where I'm sitting, my side of the world, all around to your side of the world,
Mm,
right? From New Zealand
yeah.
to Texas. And so let's get the energy here, okay, of unconditional love with Wayne's book coming out. I love it. The Inner Warrior, whatever it's called, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter, but in the word, it's okay. So we're getting this energy from
Uh,
my side of the world to yours, and all you have to do, Wayne, is receive. So here we go. Whew. You got it?
oh, I got it. It hit me right in the heart. I could feel
All
it.
right.
It just like a woof into the heart. I love it. Love it.
Thank you
Love it.
so much, Wayne. We're looking forward to be continued. And
Yeah.
to be continued. Thank you so much for being our very first guest speaker of 2024. You,
Oh, thank
Wayne,
you.
have opened the door to 2024 for our Transformational Tuesday. Can't. Woohoo! Thank you.
Love you, Judy. Love you lots.
All right.